Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inappropriate Movie Database, the comedy game show about content warnings. I'm your host, Nick Martucci. I'm thrilled that you're watching this video, whether it be live or you found it somewhere in the future after I've disappeared under mysterious circumstances. I'm just glad people are searching for me. If you're new to the game, welcome. I'm glad this is the one you decided to start with. You should go back and check out some of the others. We've done over 160 of these. We've done this topic before. Go back and watch some of those. Watch this first. I want the view count to stay up on these. Also, if you're not a member of the Facebook group, you should join that if you search Inappropriate Movie Database or click the link in the description of this video. And that's where you can get all the information about this show, including how to be on it. If you'd like to be on it, we still have, I think, a spot available this coming Monday for comedies. That's a real broad topic. If you're interested in that, or I'm going to start booking for April shows probably this weekend. So look for that information on the Facebook page or on Twitter and Instagram at IMDb Game. Or if you're not on any of the social media, you can also find the information at nickmartucci.net/IMDb Game. I think I got all that information out now. Tonight on the show, like I said, second time on this topic, movies that spawned TV shows. Again, this topic is thanks to one of our guests tonight misunderstanding a topic on a show they were on. We'll talk about that. Let's bring them in. Joining me on the show tonight are Conor Shanahan, Josh Poirier, Elsie Clark, and Matthew Flynn. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Nick.
Hello.
How are they going to catch the continuity if you don't start at episode 1, Nick? Keep telling them to start it wherever they want to. But
I would really recommend not starting at episode 1.
Why have we been doing all this world building?
The IMDb universe. It's the IMDb universe.
You're not going to understand the running jokes. I barely do at this point. Before we jump in and talk to you all individually, let's start off with a mini game. This mini game is one that we've done a few times that I like doing. It's called Characters. What I'm going to do is read the names of characters in a movie. As soon as you think you know what the movie is, raise your hand, buzz in. No penalty for wrong answers. Let's just see how this goes. So this first movie has a character named Life Magazine Lady. Also, her assistant, girl patient, girl's mother, patient on ceiling, doo-wop street singer, downtown bum number 1. Connor, what do you think?
Little Shop of Horrors.
It was made into a short-lived cartoon in 1991, I believe. This is Little Shop of Horrors. Also in the movie, narrator Arthur Denton, Wink Wilkerson, Patrick Martin, Chiffon, Ronette, Crystal, Orin Scrivello DDS, Mushnick, Audrey, Seymour Krelborn, and Audrey too.
What did you get that off of?
Doo-wop. I don't know. No. Elsie had it, I think.
Yeah.
That's
when it was like bum number 1, like doo-wop girl,
Yeah.
and then bum number 1, I was like, oh yeah, that's
Her assistant really tipped the scales for me, I think.
Hey, I remember Doo-wop Girl was great in episode 50 of this.
Well, let's introduce our first guest returning to the show. Always happy to see his face. Conor Shanahan, welcome back.
Oh, thanks, Nick. Thanks for having me. Always happy to be back. So yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Doing well. Thank you. Great
Now,
to see
I
everyone.
assume you're coming into this episode not off of, 12 hours working starting at 2 a.m. or whatever it is you did last time?
Unfortunately not. Work has really slowed down. So it's I might Josh, I'm sorry, I might be in a similar boat as you soon, so it's a little scary.
Oh, no.
Scary. No, it's hopefully everything's fine. But the crazy hours that I am sometimes working are not really around me right now, and I wish they were. But I'm thrilled to be here talking movies. I don't really know TV that well, and but I sure do know musicals about plants that eat people that were turned into TV shows, I guess. But I'm looking forward to this. It'll be fun.
He's just a fan of Downtown Bum number 1.
Luckily, we're not really dealing with the TV shows.
Okay,
Some of these, I'm sure you don't even know that there was a TV show after the movie. But Connor, I will ask you one of two questions. Answer both or one or neither. Do you have a movie you like that you know was turned into a TV show, or do you have a TV show you really like that you know came from a movie?
You know, I will say that I was so happy that they finally concluded the storyline of Deadwood when they went back in like 15 years later, finally made a film to wrap up the 3 seasons on HBO. So it sort of fits both your questions there.
I mean, it's the exact opposite of the question I'm asking about, but
I'm sorry. And yes, ravioli to your other question, Nick. Ravioli and Pepsi products. And I think I've answered all your questions, right?
Ravioli, great character from episode 69.
I mean, Connor, thank you for doing that. Now I can clarify. It is not movies based on TV shows. It's the opposite.
And that's why I'm here.
All right. Well, I'm glad to see how this goes. You are a monster at this game, and I love when a topic can kind of trip you up a little bit.
I'm just a monster. So,
I mean, who among us is not?
Glad to be here and glad to be a monster. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you back, Connor. Also returning to the show right now, 4-time champion, going for his 5th win in a row. We'll see if it happens tonight.
Yeah.
Josh Poirier, welcome back to the show.
Hey, Nick. Guess I got the thing wrong too, because I got Dukes of Hazzard back here, which is a TV show based off a movie based off a TV show.
I was supposed to be the cautionary tale, you know. Don't do what this guy does.
Whoops.
Well, Josh, we've talked to you a lot over the last couple of months. Your streak goes strong. We'll see how you do tonight. Do you have an answer to the question that I asked Connor that he did not have an answer to either?
I have an answer for each one of them, actually.
Perfect.
The favorite movie, the TV show from a movie was What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, yes.
Fantastic.
Very good.
And I think
I prefer the TV show over the movie.
I do too. And the other one that was great too was the Clerks animated series.
Also really fun. I
good.
wish that there was more of that.
I do too. I used to have the DVD of it. We had 6 episodes on it. I used to run through it and I was like, I really want to watch it again. I just watch it over and over again.
I love the fact that episode 2 is a clip show.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love it.
Also, have you ever seen, I think you can find the pilot on YouTube, the live action Clerks show?
I have. It's
hard.
It's something. It's like the American IT crowd. It's something.
What's his face? Jim Brewer takes over for Randall. Yeah. No, excellent choices.
Thank you.
Solid answers.
Also returning to the show, the aforementioned person responsible for this topic, Elsie Clark. Welcome back to the show.
The deepest apologies.
You shouldn't apologize. I got more episodes off of this topic than the movies that started series, which is what you originally came up with a list.
Yeah, so here's the story.
Of a lovely lady. That's the reverse. It's a movie based on a TV show.
No, you're right. Oh, wow.
Sorry.
But so I had this list when I was on that show many months, a year plus
Could
ago.
have been 5 years ago. Who knows at this point?
Time is meaningless. But I made a list of movies that had spawned TV shows, but the topic was movies that started a series, meaning a series of movies. And that would have been a fine mistake if I had bothered to keep the list and have it with me today, but I'm flying blind here. What we do in the shadows is also my answer, so I don't even.
Yeah, I think that was your answer last time too.
No, well,
you were on the first version of this one as well.
Oh boy!
And I think that's the one that you brought up.
Interesting. Well, because I thought I had forgotten about that one, but no. Okay, so I'm really a blank slate here.
I mean, I am excited to see how this works out for you.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll win. Maybe I'll knock Poirier off his.
There's nothing I want to see more than any of you finally bring Poirier back down to earth. Riding too high.
Fucking arrogant lately, Josh.
Poirier's had it too good for too long.
Like my job didn't already do that to me.
Well, Elsie, welcome back to the show. Finally, returning to the show for his second appearance after a real strong showing a couple of weeks ago. Always thrilled when somebody decides to come back. Matthew Flynn, welcome back to the show.
He says that now, but wait until your 50th time.
Oh, well, this is only my second time. So, am I supposed to list a movie that spawned?
I mean, yeah, that's the question that I've asked. Movie based on a TV. I mean, TV show based on a movie or a movie that spawned a TV show.
A series that was spawned by a movie that I watched but didn't necessarily like, but it aired in the same block of television with Duckman. I watched every episode of Weird Science.
Yep.
And a TV series that was not good, but I wanted it to be good because the movie was so good. Party Girl.
Yeah.
Terrible show.
I just found out maybe a few hours ago that there was a Party Girl TV show.
Yeah.
When putting together the list for tonight.
And I guess in the hopes of me being victorious, I did a show with the late Kevin Meaney years ago, and then a year after that, me and him hung out for a bit. And he played Uncle Buck in the TV version of Uncle Buck. So maybe his ghost, if an afterlife exists, will lead me to some sort of victory of having secret knowledge about shit I wouldn't otherwise remember.
I mean, if you being on the show convinces Kevin Meaney's ghost to watch this show, it's all been worth it.
It's not going to be a view.
Well, excellent suggestions, everybody but Connor. Thank you all for being here. Before we get to the game itself, let's figure out who's going first in the game by doing another round of characters. Again, buzz in if you think you know it. This movie has characters such as Captain Bandini, Captain Merhart, Private Boone, Brigadier General Hammond. Josh, what do you think?
Starship Troopers?
It is not Starship Troopers. Connor, what do you think?
Platoon?
It is not Platoon. This movie also has characters Captain Nako, Ugly John, Captain Storch.
Oh, wait, Storch. Damn it.
Josh.
I know. No, I don't know it.
All right. Captain Painless Wildowski, Corporal Judson, Ho John, Sergeant Gorman, Lieutenant Leslie, Melee Maston, Dr. Oliver Jones, Lieutenant Dish, Sergeant Major Volmer, Father John McCallie, Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake, Major Frank Burns, Duke Forrest, Trapper John McIntyre.
Oh.
Josh.
MASH.
It's MASH.
Some solid names in there.
And technically speaking, if he's still in the comments, Nate Shue got this before the show started. Also, we got Captain Radar O'Reilly, Major Margaret Hot Lips O'Houlihan, and Hawkeye Pierce.
Yeah.
This is my problem, one of my many problems, where I did not apply the fact that there's a theme to tonight's show to that game. I mean, we all remember that great series Platoon, right?
I mean, it's weird that it was an animated Saturday morning cartoon.
And that it was so damn funny. The musical sequences were on point.
I mean, I love that they added a talking dog to it. Well, that puts Connor and Josh on the board.
Okay. It was pretty weird.
Josh and Connor are on the board with one each. There's plenty of points available for the game. Before we get to that, if you're new to the game, here's what's going to happen. I have gone to IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, and I have pulled parental warnings for a bunch of movies that spawn TV shows. These parental warnings, I don't write them. I don't know who writes them. I'll never know who writes them. I've been doing this show now almost 2 years, and none of them have shown their faces. So I'm just stealing their words and making a game out of them. I'm going to read these warnings. My friends here are going to try to figure out what movie these warnings are from. Josh, since you got that point, you get to pick the first year. Would you like a movie that spawned a TV show from 1934, 1973, or 1988?
Oh, it's 73.
73. All right, first movie of the night from 1973 for 5 points under the category of sex and nudity. An officer forcefully removes money from the pockets of a man in police custody, briefly revealing his backside as his pants are ripped. All right, for 4 points under the category of frightening and intense scenes, tense fear hanging over the title character. Josh has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Josh?
Got off title character. I think it's Serpico.
There was a show from 1976 to 1977. This is Serpico.
Nice.
Also in Serpico, under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, marijuana cigarettes are passed around to upcoming detectives in a classroom. They are smoked, described as good. Alcohol, drugs, and smoking, drugs and drug deals, i.e. heroin, are discussed, including taking and soliciting bribes from dealers. And violence and gore, a plainclothes officer chases down a man on the street, then beats him in a bathroom as part of a money laundering scheme. The victim is held down in a toilet. Josh is up to 5 points. Connor's at 1. Elsie and Matthew both at 0. But Elsie, you get to pick this next year. Would you like a movie from 1967, 1986, or 2008?
2008.
2008. All right, 2008 for 5 points under frightening and intense scenes. The unrated cut is a lot more violent and intense compared to the PG-13 cut, with a lot more on-screen violence.
That relates really to our conversation prior. But unrated means something different in the early 2000s.
For 4 points under violence and gore, there's a fight, and a man who escaped then smashes a fire extinguisher over another man's head and stomach, and shoots another man with his own gun. Josh has a guess. Anybody else? All right, Josh.
Was there an unrated version of Taken?
There sure was. There was also a TV show from 2017 to 2018. This is Taken.
Nice.
See, I always wanted there to be a show like the next Taken, actually called Mistaken, where Liam Neeson's character just has really bad Alzheimer's and ends up protecting the wrong family.
He actually, I don't know the name of it, but he actually does have a recent movie where he plays like a hitman whose mind is going because of dementia or Alzheimer's.
Oh, wow.
That's essentially
Well, there you go, Josh.
Damn, they made it. They made my
Yeah,
movie.
yeah,
They
but it's
read my
called something
Facebook
else.
post.
The called
And
And
Memory.
besides,
Yeah.
if there's going to be a movie called Mistaken, it should be the all-female reboot of Taken.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but that feels like it's double title. Mistaken. It's like we missed. Yeah, I'm not going to go into it.
Also in Taken, under violence and gore, there's a large-scale shootout on a ferry, and we see bullet holes opening in walls and furnishing. Brian shoots a man in the leg several times. Frightening and intense scenes, we see 2 young women being kidnapped by several men. And violence and gore, a man is strapped into a chair, and a nail is then stabbed into each thigh. Liam Neeson then straps electrical cables to the nails and tortures the victim for information.
I studied these for like 2 hours today. So really, I went nuts on this.
Josh came here to win tonight. He's at 9. Connor's at 1. Elsie and Matthew at 0. Feel free to guess at any point if any of you have. Matthew,
All right.
would you like a movie from 1953, 1984, or 2011?
I'll go 1984.
1984. All right, 1984 for 5 points. Under Sex and Nudity, Jenny is seen in her panties for a very long time. First while she's sleeping, and then when she meets the main character. Not sexual, but her thighs and panties are clearly visible. All right, for 4 points under violence and gore, policemen pull upside the main character's car and shoot at it with a shotgun, blowing out the passenger window and hitting Jenny Hayden. She is shown with blood on her face and a wound in her side. Not especially graphic, but might be upsetting for children.
Jesus.
All right, we're finally getting to a 3-point clue. Under profanity, we also see 2 people gesturing with their middle fingers, once by the main character, who is, excuse me, who is mimicking another individual and does not understand its meaning. Well, Josh is finally buzzed in. Elsie is also buzzed in. Elsie is not buzzed in. Josh, what do you think?
Pretty sure it's Starman. You know I'm a John Carpenter stan, so.
I know you are a John Carpenter stan, which is why you know from 1986 to 1987 there was a Starman TV show. This
I watched it.
Starman.
Yeah, I watched it live.
Also in Starman, under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, many characters are seen smoking throughout the movie, including Jenny Hayden, a man who picks up the hitchhiking main character and the main character himself for comedic effect. Attempting to inhale makes him cough very forcefully and make faces of disgust. A SETI scientist following the heroes also smokes a cigar and at one point blows smoke into the face of the show's primary antagonist. And Sex and Nudity, Jeff Bridges, as the alien, stands up after landing on the planet. We see him naked from the back, revealing his backside plainly for a few seconds.
That didn't have enough Jenny Hayden in that clue.
That's true. I
I
mean,
Jenny
big
Hayden.
movie for Jenny Hayden. We are speeding through this game because right now Josh is up to 12. The rest of you are watching Josh play the game.
All right.
That's true.
Great.
You're doing great, kid.
That poor Jenny Hayden with that shotgun blast. Oh boy.
I know the kids did not enjoy that scene.
Oh, the kids that watched that movie.
All right, Connor, we're to you. Last one of the round. Would you like a movie from 1956, 1982, or 2009?
Let's go 56.
Let's go 56.
I gotta just jump in.
All right. 1956. Connor already has a guess, but I'm going to go ahead and read this first clue.
Mm-hmm.
For 5 points under sex and nudity. Several women lift their gowns as they flee from a room and unintentionally flash the English ambassadors. It is implied earlier that they aren't wearing proper undergarments, but no nudity is seen. That ruined Connor's guess.
You should you should have to anyway.
I will. You know what ruined my guess was, do you remember when you asked that question earlier, how I responded?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So my guess is a 1956 TV show that turned into an 80s movie called Dragnet. And that's my guess. It'll take me down one. There you go.
No, I'm not gonna. You just. You
I
said
insist.
I
insist. Please listen.
I'm
if I had worked
game.
12 hours, okay, whatever.
I'm running this game. I refuse to make you lose a point just for continually forgetting what this theme is.
I love Catherine O'Hara. What can I tell you?
You keep talking sick every time on the show, forgetting what it is.
For 4 points under violence and gore. In a theatrical performance in the film, a character, some men, and several dogs drown in a river.
Oh my
god! If I know this, I'm actually, it's because I've done the stage production of it, and I didn't know there was a TV show about it.
All right, Josh.
Is this The King and
I? Where is it? In 1972, Yul Brynner reprised his role in a TV version, Anna and the King. This is The King and I.
Yeah,
Nice.
I've done the stage version of that. We're backstage at it.
How many dogs did you guys drown on stage? My God.
7.
Lucky. Hey.
At this point, you're
that was one of them. That was
also the dog's name.
Lucky. Also in The King and I, sex and nudity. Although no sex is ever shown, it's strongly implied that Tup Tim and Loon Ta are secret lovers. Frightening and intense scenes, the ending is very sad and emotional. The king dies due to illness. And sex and nudity, the king of Siam has several wives and lots of children.
I didn't know it was a TV show.
Wow, I do not remember that musical at all.
I've only seen the animated one from, I think, the 90s.
There's a great one too with Anna and the King, which had Chow Yun-fat as the king. It was really good.
That makes sense.
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster, yeah.
It's Jodie Foster in it, isn't it?
I was going to guess Paint Your Wagon, but
the great Patty Chayefsky film that I thought was a joke because it was on The Simpsons.
All right. Well, Josh is running away with this game at 16. So let's take a break from this game and see if we can get to the rest of you some points.
What, we're changing the topic already?
Dragnet. Oh shit. Okay.
All right. Let's jump into another mini game. This is another multiple choice round. What I'm going to do is go to one of you, ask you a multiple choice question. If you get it right, you get 4 points. If not, your opponent gets the next person can try for 3. Next person can try for 2. Last person can get the 1 point if they can remember the answer that's left.
I don't remember anything.
Since 2 of you are at 0, I'm just gonna start with the one whose name comes first. Elsie, this goes to you first.
Okay.
Which of these live action movies was not turned into an animated TV show? Is it The Bad News Bears, Dumb and Dumber, The Karate Kid, or Police Academy?
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber was an animated show. Matthew, Bad News Bears, The Karate Kid, or Police Academy?
I'm going to go with The Bad News Bears.
That TV show was live action. That is 3 points to Matthew. Yep, there was a nice, fun kids cartoon of Police Academy, if you remember it.
Yeah, I do. I watched it live.
We
on
get
after
it,
Starman.
Josh. You have more experience than us in life.
No, just
He
saying.
was in the room as they animated.
Yeah, you saw The King and I in theaters. Be honest.
You were the first AD. Come on.
All right, Matthew, you get to start this round.
I remember when Takis first came about.
That Jolson kid's got some snap to him.
Josh, how afraid were you when the train came towards the camera?
I was terrified. Never seen something move like that on the wall before.
Matthew, which of these classic movies does not have a TV follow-up? Casablanca, Gone with the Wind, It's a Wonderful Life, or Mr. Smith Goes to Washington?
I'm gonna go with It's a Wonderful Life, maybe.
That is another 4 points to you.
Yeah, dude, nice.
Matthew is in the game now. Casablanca, they tried twice to turn to TV, once in 1955, once in 1983.
Gotta give that 40 years.
Gone with the Wind in 1994 was the sequel miniseries Scarlet with Timothy Dalton taking over for Clark Gable.
That's a downgrade.
And Mr. Smith Goes to Washington was a sitcom from 1962 to 1963.
Yeah, you don't understand how about to a downgrade Timothy Dalton is when you know Clark Gable personally.
I will watch Timothy Dalton in a million things before I watch one more Clark Gable. All right, Connor.
Yo.
Which of these horror movie franchises doesn't have a TV follow-up?
I'll tell you.
Is it The Exorcist, Halloween, The Omen, or Poltergeist?
Wow. Halloween, of course.
Halloween, of course.
Really?
There is no Halloween TV series.
Of course.
The Exorcist had a TV show from 2016 to 2017.
The twist in that was cool.
The Omen had Damien, which just aired for one season in 2016.
That's all they needed.
And Poltergeist, The Legacy, aired from 1996 to 1999.
That was like Friday the 13th, the series where it had nothing to do with Poltergeist.
Did you ever see the terrible Jacob Slatter TV show?
Yes. No.
It was also bad.
All right. Josh,
yep,
you get this last question. Which of these TV shows was not based on a movie?
Okay.
The Dukes of Hazzard,
Mhm.
Good Times, Mr. Belvedere, or What's Happening?
Pretty sure it was Good Times.
You are absolutely correct, Josh. Good Times was not based on a movie. I thought I could trick you with that one.
Yeah, the
Dukes of
What's
Hazzard.
Happening.
Dukes of Hazzard actually was based on a 1975 movie, Moonrunners.
Moonrunners.
Mr. Belvedere was based on a 1948 movie called Sitting Pretty. And What's Happening was based on 1975's Cooley High.
Yep.
Moonrunners is such a it's a much cooler name. I would have kept it. Why change it?
That's a very good question.
Is it ironic? Is it ironic that the Mr. Belvedere movie is called Sitting Pretty when Mr. Belvedere famously sat upon his Belvederes? Not so pretty, Mr. B. Not so pretty. Need to work on that city pretty, sir.
Oh, wonderful pull. Very upset by how those scores changed. Josh is now at 20. Matthew right behind at 7. Connor's at 5. LC, I'm just glad you decided to come back to the show.
Yeah, I'm here for color commentary. But
All right, well, let's do one more round of this game before we get to the final question. Matthew, because you got the most points in that round, I'm going to let you pick this year. Would you like a movie from 1934, 1988, or 1995?
1995.
1995. Let's see if maybe we can get to the 3-point clue.
We did during Starman.
That's true. There was
Jenny
one
Hayden.
that took you one extra clue.
For sure, Jenny Hayden. We learned a lot about Jenny Hayden.
1995 for 5 points. Under violence and gore, a man uses a knife to cut open his hand. Little blood is shown. Connor has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Connor?
I'm hoping that it's in this year. It's this year, 96. And I know there's a series, and my guess is From Dusk Till Dawn.
I mean, that is an excellent guess, but it is not From Dusk Till Dawn.
Biscuits. All right.
That was actually a really good series, too.
Yeah, I watched the first one. It was pretty solid.
It was really good.
So good that I didn't go on to 2 and 3. Apparently.
You loved it.
Yeah.
It was like when I watched James Dean film back in the 1950s.
I love it. Keep it going.
All right. 4 points. Violence and gore. A woman hits a man with a fire extinguisher twice, causing him to fall to his death.
I'm sorry. Could you just read that first one more time?
A man uses a knife to cut open his hand. Little blood is shown. Also, a woman hits a man with a fire extinguisher twice, causing him to fall to his death. For 3 points under violence and gore, a character tries to kill a woman. He points the gun at her forehead and repeatedly pulls the trigger, but there are no bullets in it.
Sounds.
Matthew has a guess. Anybody else?
I don't know if this is
Josh also has a guess.
I don't know. You know what?
What do you?
I don't know.
All right, Matthew, what do you think?
I'm not that confident, but I'm going to say La Femme Nikita.
Another excellent guess. It is not La Femme Nikita. Oh. For 2 points under frightening and intense scenes, the main female character is stalked and threatened during the whole movie.
Wait, is this?
We got 2 hands up. Anybody else?
Oh no.
All right, Connor.
I don't think it is. The Professional.
Josh, what do you think?
This The Net.
This is not The Professional. This 1998 to 1999, there was a TV show for The Net. Sandra Bullock in The Net.
Hell yeah.
It was funny because I was mentioning that so many times last episode.
Uh-huh.
You should watch because it's continuity.
And violence and gore, a woman contacts and arranges to meet a cyber friend for his help. However, before they get to the chance to meet, it's heavily implied that he is killed by the antagonists.
Such a dumb movie.
Did they ever do a Professionals series?
I don't think so.
I think I was piggybacking off of La Femme Nikita there. Matt.
Yeah,
I mean,
they kind of dies.
Well, they've been teasing the sequel since '94, I think, of Matilda. She grows up to be an assassin.
I don't think Matilda wants to work with Luc Besson.
Yeah,
I don't think
nobody does. Let's get Luc Besson out of there, but let's get Natalie Portman in an assassin movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Josh, you're up to 22 points.
Sorry.
Matthew is at 6. Connor's at 3. LC at 0. Only slightly behind Connor, despite I don't know if you've spoken much this game. LC playing the Lloyd strategy.
I just haven't guessed. I feel like I am talking plenty. I take that back. Because as I'm sure you know, a study showed that when women spoke 15% of the time, they were perceived as speaking equally as much as men, and when they spoke 30% of the time, they were perceived as talking more. So there, that
I totally
also
agree with that.
alone History Channel series. It's not based on a movie, but that is getting me nowhere. So I'm just gonna.
It's based on The Edge with Alec Baldwin and Sir Anthony
Based
Hopkins.
on The Revenant.
That was Gray.
Yeah. Gray.
Every contestant has to go and get vengeance on the people who killed their son and left them to die. The producers are very shady.
Yeah, that's
extreme. Yeah.
Well, now that Elsie's talked for half the episode.
Just comes here and dominates the entire episode.
God damn it.
Just a joke I really hated seeing.
But it was necessary.
I had to.
It was teed up. Yeah, you got to go for
it. Where are we? I believe Connor, you get to pick this one.
Okay. Come on, Dragnet.
Connor, would you like a movie from 1967, 1986, or 2011?
Oh, things went really well when I went with the early one last time.
You got Dragnet.
Let's go to the year of Josh's 40th, 1967. Right.
40th, that was my 50th.
Trying to help you out here, but
a gentleman never reveals his age. Which is why, Josh, you can go ahead and reveal it.
Okay, it's 127.
Another good joke here. Classics.
Another teed up, though. That was good.
Yeah. What did you choose? 67?
I did, yeah.
All right. 1967 for 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. This is a family film. No drugs, alcohol, or smoking is used in any way, shape, or form in this feature. Connor has a guess. Anybody else? Connor, what do you think?
Okay, the year stuck out to me, which is why I went with it, because I used to know all the Oscar winners, and I think that this is that year, and it's whatever. But that clue does not speak to this movie. But anyway, my guess, which I know was a series, is In the Heat of the Night, 1967.
That is a fun family film, In the Heat of the Night.
I know.
That was a movie. Yeah.
I mean,
whatever. It's
great pull.
Not the answer. All right.
All right. For 4 points under sex and nudity, someone's saying that he was king of swingers.
A great family film.
Connor has another guess. Can he redeem himself this time? Anybody else?
No, but.
All right, Connor, redeem yourself.
Is this? Well, I'm the king of the swingers. Oh, The Jungle Book?
That is how you would sing that song. And it led to one of my favorite TV shows based on a movie, kind of, Tailspin.
Oh
yeah. Where they just took the characters from Jungle Book, but had them play other characters in like a Casablanca movie.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like the Muppets doing Treasure Island. Wow, that's good.
Yeah, if you haven't like revisited Tailspin in a while, it's bonkers.
Or get together, get a couple of your nieces, nephews, kids, put on In the Heat of the Night, have a great, bowl of popcorn.
Wait, I have to wait till my nieces and nephews have children of their own.
Mm-hmm. That's just it's a rule. Yeah, that's what you got.
I'm teeing up my 6-year-old tomorrow. You wouldn't have thought a 120-year-old to have a 6-year-old, but
by the way, probably the best music in a Disney movie. I mean, everyone's going to argue that, but I love Walt Disney's In the Heat of the Night.
I mean, the villain song, you could never sing it today, but it's really good.
Yeah, that's true.
Just like most Disney movies, the villain song is super racist.
Yeah. Peter Pan has a few more that are super racist, though. They're not the villain song.
Not the villain song in Peter Pan, the heroes. Also in Jungle Book, Sex and Nudity, the main character sees a village girl and watches curiously. At the end, she gives him those come hither eyes and he obliges.
I remember when Carol O'Connor got those come hither eyes.
Sex and Nudity, the main character, a human child, wears only a loincloth. And Violence and Gore, the film contains a few scenes of mild violence, such as a boy pulling a snake's tail, causing it to knock its head against a branch, or a tiger biting a bear on the rear, and a tiger catching fire from a branch that is tied to its tail.
All right, listen, parents, you gotta watch out for the part where this little girl gives this little boy those come in their eyes. You know the ones I mean. You know, she gives him those eyes. Like,
oh yeah, you know the worst
so
part about
gross.
that? He obliges.
He obliges, of course.
That's not the worst part. The worst part was the little girl was talking to the entire movie. None of the characters get a word in edgewise.
She was only in the last 15% of it, but yeah, right, good point, Josh.
I don't think she has a line. She doesn't need one with those come hither eyes.
Mm-hmm. Greta Garbo eyes, absolutely.
In a body language.
I dated Greta Garbo.
I was gonna say, how was Garbo back in the day?
Well, Elsie's still at 0. Connor and Matthew now tied at 6. Josh still at 22.
Nice.
Josh, you get to pick this year.
Yep.
Would you like a movie from 1953, 1982, or 2009?
Oh, 82.
82. 1982 for 5 points. Penultimate movie. We're running out of chances for anything to change in this game. 1982 for 5 points under frightening and intense scenes. The film is very emotional and has a somewhat depressing ending. Matthew has a guess. Anybody else? Connor also has a guess.
What year?
82. Connor, what do you think this movie is?
I don't know what the series would be, but depressing ending to I think 1982's Gandhi.
Matthew, what do you think?
I know I'm wrong, but I was going to go with Alien Nation.
Oh, that's a fun guess. It is not Alien Nation. Also, as far as I know, there's no Gandhi TV show.
Well, I just can't place it yet, you know.
4 points under alcohol,
Come on,
drugs, and
high.
smoking. A colonel and a police officer drink beer in a bar while talking about how to take down the main character. Josh has a guess. Anybody else?
That's right.
All right, Josh.
I don't know if this is the right year, but First Blood.
Led to everybody's favorite Saturday morning cartoon, Rambo. This is First Blood.
That
Yeah,
is definitely.
I watched that live.
Wow, this is going to be the first game where that final question does not matter.
Sorry.
Hey, could matter a lot to me.
That's true. The final question will decide who comes in second. We got one movie left. Josh is at 26.
Nice.
Connor and Matthew still fighting for second at the 5 points each.
This is what happens when I apply myself, Nick. Maybe I should apply
Elsie
myself
at
more.
0.
Also fighting for second.
Also fighting for second. Elsie,
st-
if you get this next movie on the 5 point clue, we can go into the final with a 3 person tie.
Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna get it then.
All right, you also get to pick the year.
Okay. So it's mine to lose. What's up?
I think so. Would you like a movie from 1934, 1988, or 2009?
You said 1934?
1934,
All right.
1988.
I'm gonna go with
2009.
1988.
All right. Terrible strategy for trying to stop Josh from getting another 3 to 4 points. But
well, what was I gonna do? 1934. That's his sweet spot.
coming into my 30s at that point.
As was the world.
Well, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, 1988, final movie before the final question. Connor already has a guess again. Let's see if this clue ruins his guess again. For 5 points under frightening and intense scenes, a woman is embarrassed in front of a large group of people after being exposed for lying. All right, Connor, you still going to guess?
Sure.
What do you think?
I'm not going to say Dragnet. I'm going to go with my original one. And much like In the Heat of the Night, that did not help it out. But here we go. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It is not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Can I throw a Dragnet in there? All right.
You sure can. I'll only charge you for one guess, though.
Dragnet. All
right. 4 points under sex and nudity. A man changes his shirt in his office. For 3 points under violence and gore, a woman has an accident while skiing and is shown wearing a cast in a hospital bed. Josh has a guess. Anybody else?
Again, I've seen this movie.
Yeah, so have I. Josh, what do you think this movie is?
This Working Girl?
There was a TV show in 1990 starring Sandra Bullock. This is Working Girl.
Star of the Net? Holy shit.
Star of the Net. The other clues, let's just finish this up. The other clues under sex and nudity. Businessman insinuates partner is only in business with a certain woman because he wants to sleep with her. And sex and nudity, a woman, Melanie Griffith, vacuums her boss's apartment in her underwear for about 5 seconds while she is alone. It's a long angle shot. Recent viewing, 2023, confirms this scene is in fact in the film. Her bare breasts are briefly but clearly visible while vacuuming.
I've seen the unrated version.
Also, I should tell you,
I didn't make that up. It's a real scene. Long angle.
I almost never rewrite a clue, but I did have to rewrite this one a little bit so you didn't think I was wrong. The original clue was a woman, Melody Griffith. Yeah, the man changing his shirt in the office was it's Harrison Ford, and I did see that scene go viral a little on Twitter recently, so wanted to throw that in. Well, we're on to the final question, and I will say you can only risk up to 10 points. Josh, you could risk up to 20 and still be guaranteed a win. Josh is up at 29, Matthew at 5, Connor at 4. Elsie, your last chance for points. In a second, I'm going to ask you about your knowledge of IMDb's ratings. I want you to privately message me a bet between 1 and 10 on how confident you are with IMDb's rating system. We got one person who gets closest to it will get their points. If you get it exactly right, I will give you an extra 3 points. All right, I think everyone but Connor has sent me something. Connor, thank you for doing that. You can just use the Zoom chat next time.
Did you say Dragnet?
All right, everybody's got their bets in. IMDb has a list on their site of the 250 highest rated TV shows. I only went through the first 100 to research this. So, in IMDb's top 100 TV shows of all time, how many of them had a movie precede it? Message me privately how many movies in IMDb's, how many TV shows in top, can't speak. How many TV shows in IMDb's top 100 TV shows were preceded by a movie? Just privately message me your answer. I've got something in from Josh. I've got something in from Matthew. I've got something in from LC.
Same method.
Same method. All right. I've got Connor's now too. Well, let's read down this list so you can maybe get angry at me for what I chose to include in this, but I think they're all fair. TV shows that came from movies in IMDb's top 100. Fargo, Das Boot, Curb Your Enthusiasm, I, Claudius, The Mandalorian, and Battlestar Galactica. That leaves 6 movies, 6 TV shows that are based on movies. Connor came in strong with 23. Matthew guessed 20. Josh guessed 8. LC guessed 6. Getting it exactly right.
She talks the whole time and then drills the ending. I mean, what is this all about?
So let's see how that affects the points. Connor wagered 3 points, loses 3 points. Matthew,
I knocked myself out.
Loses 10 points. Josh played it safe in a way that he absolutely didn't need to. Could have went for an all-time high score. Only wagered 1, loses 1. LC gets those 3 bonus points on top of the 10 points LC wagered.
Hell yeah.
Gaining 13 points off the final round.
Ooh, second place.
That means our final scores for the night. Matthew at -5, Connor at 1, LC at 13, but our winner tonight with 28 points, 5 times in a row. If this was old Jeopardy, I'd kick you off the show.
You're gonna kick me off.
Josh Poirier is the winner. Absolutely.
Fluid strategy, baby.
Yeah, just to clarify, because Josh, I did see your face was confused. There was a 1-hour TV movie called Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, okay.
That was the basis for the show.
Okay.
It's a little different than the show itself. It's a little more based on, real Larry David. But
You mean to tell me that the Police Academy show was not on that top 100?
Surprisingly, not on the top 100.
What We Do in the Shadows wasn't up there? That's weird.
No. Also, Das Boot I included. Technically, it's an extended version of the movie. It's a 4-episode miniseries.
Damn.
But it did come out 4 years later, so it felt fine. Amazing job, everybody. We did it. We got through this together. Before we go, let's wrap this up. If anybody has anything they want to promote, anywhere they want to be found, or any last words, Matthew, I'll start with you.
People can look me up if they want to. That's
all right. Follow Matthew on google.com. Search Matthew.
Well, it's a very common name, so you're going to find the drummer.
No top result is going to be this guy.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Matthews that are way more well known than me, or have just done more online, I guess. But eventually you can find me. Just dig.
I think also if you're on Instagram or Twitter, his screen names are tagged in those posts. So maybe you just go to @IMDb game and find him if you're really curious what he's up to. Connor, you got anything you want to leave people with?
I'm just curious, Josh, was Cecil B. DeMille really a prick?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he was.
Valid.
He ran over my cat.
Oh, he was the one who ran over your cat. Okay.
He was the one who ran over my cat.
No, thanks for having me. It's a blast as always.
Always a thrill to have you. Elsie, what would you like to leave people with?
Alone is a show now entering its like 10th season or something on the History Channel. In less than 10 years, people really respond to it. It's great fun. It's the only actual reality show because the contestants are really alone. They have to do all the self-doc like by themselves. They have to film everything they do. So when they're like starving and they're like, okay, I think there's a fish out there. Maybe I'm gonna have to take off like all my bottoms and wade into the icy waters and also carry a camera.
All so my bottoms.
There's no one to hold the bottoms. That's on top
That's
of everything. That's the
problem with
else,
a lot of alone people.
It's the mind. It's very interesting. And it's not based on a movie, but clearly that's not my forte. My forte, guessing numbers.
I mean, you know, I've also been stranded in the wilderness with nothing, but I didn't film it. I don't need the attention.
Yeah. Bunch of drama.
So yeah,
also, Josh is old. Josh is very old.
So I think this goes back to some of your first appearances. What Elsie's trying to say is leave them alone.
Yes.
Finally, our winner, Josh Poirier. What would you like to say for your fifth win in a row?
You can see my original appearance as Scylla in Homer's epic poem, The Odyssey. That was my first appearance. Played Scylla. My friend Joey played Charybdis. That's always where I met him on the set for the poem. No, but seriously, Parkinson's research. I'm going to be doing a special show for Parkinson's research. Yes, yes, I'm old. I have Parkinson's. But I'm going to be doing a show version of this show next month. We haven't set the date yet, but I'll definitely be out putting out the date of it. Where I'm doing actors and actresses who have Parkinson's, who have or had Parkinson's, and a whole episode based on that. There's more than you might think. It's not just Bob Hoskins and Billy Connolly.
I mean, that's going to be a great show. I'm glad you're putting it together.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of, I just rewatched the episode. The Michael J. Fox episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm is, I think, one of my favorite episodes of any TV show.
He was great. He was great on Rescue Me too. When he was on Rescue Me,
he was great on Rescue Me.
I mean, he's a hero, man. He's a true.
Yeah, but the Curb Your Enthusiasm episode is very explicitly about the Parkinson's.
Yeah, well, he never shies away from it. That's the best thing about him is he actually what he actually does is if he has to appear before Congress or something like that, he doesn't take his meds, so he shows the whole range of everything. Because when you're on your meds, you're actually semi-normal, but he makes sure that people know and the points are punched in that it's something that affects your everyday life, and I appreciate that.
No, absolutely. Look out for that episode. We're definitely going to do it. If you want to be a part of that, well, I'll do those promotions in a second. I just want to thank my guests once again. Conor Shanahan, Matthew Flynn, Elsie Clark, and the guy Jesus was named after, Josh Poirier. I'm Nick Martucci.
I brought down those walls of Jericho. That was me.
I am Nick Martucci. You can find me on all social media at Blundering Idiom. Find the show on Facebook. Search Inappropriate Movie Database or click the link in the description of this video. Twitter and Instagram at IMDb Game. Off social media, nickmartucci.net/IMDb Game. Normally we do this show 2 times a week. We haven't really been hitting that lately, but I'd like to get back to that. Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on this channel. So like this video, subscribe to the channel, watch old episodes. If you want to be a part of this show, I will be booking for April. I think this weekend I got to put together this list. So if you want to be on the episode Josh is hosting, or if you want to be on the episode that I'm hosting, there's a few more of those. But you know, if you hate the host of this show, go on Josh's episode. I think that's all I have to say. We'll be back on Monday night with comedies.